look at that face, folks. Today, on Russia Today, there was this gentleman saying that if Israel wanted to bomb Iran, then they would just do it, and it didn't matter at all which person was President of the United States of America. So, and that person would just shrug his shoulders and let them really do it anyway. And then if there was retaliation, no doubt, the USA would join in and bomb Iran, no matter which president was there controlling or being a puppet for the Rothschilds who run Israel anyway.
How dare he mention Iran? Who is in charge of the British Secret Service nowadays?
Israel's got nuclear weapons and has had nuclear weapons since 1967, I think, the date.
Get them on the phone.
So, and nuclear submarines. So I suppose the question is,
phone!
Where are the nuclear submarines now?
Now!
And these nuclear submarines are armed with the 200-odd nuclear weapons. Well, not 200, but no doubt, quite a few nuclear weapons that are off the coast of the United States of America.
Damn crazy Brit, who does he think he's kidding?
Perhaps. So, it seems to me that when congressmen stand up and give Mr. Netanyahu,
who the hell's this fucking Nahu guy?
27 standing ovations at Congress, I think it was.
What the hell's ovation?
You wonder really who's in charge of America.
The president, dumbass!
Yeah. And perhaps it's the Rothschilds.
Have you got the head of the British Secret Service on the phone yet?
After all, it's not Goldman Sachs who rules the world. It's the Rothschilds, really. And all of their relations. Even their relations in Saudi Arabia.
Where the hell's Arabia, man?
Have I said enough? I suppose so.
Yes, indeed you have. Absolutely.
We need, really, as far as I can see, there's no other option but somehow creating a resource-based economy.
One of us is a Brit.
All 7 billion of us, and counting.
Where the fucking ass of me?
And on reflection, that gentleman, I said, if Israel chooses to bomb Iran, didn't say if, I think he said when Israel chooses to.
1 second of thought. Tell cousin Rothschild I'd like to speak with him.
Perhaps it's time to come and take me away.
Yes, indeed it is.
They're coming to take me away, ho ho hee, ho ho. To the funny farm.
Brett's crazy, I'm gonna watch X Factor.
Whether we like it or not, it appears we have a religious war on our hands. Not a war between Christianity and Islam, though that's what they'd like us to believe. It's a war between the forces of good and evil. Now, if we class, a tyranny as being evil, and we judge a tyranny by the way that we are controlled and managed and brainwashed and deceived and lied to.
Elite? We are gods.
By an elite. Do we believe that tyranny is evil, even though they say, and some try, to do what they promise to do, but most of the time don't do it anyway? Talking politically.
Damned good job.
But even, as I've said,
He hasn't brought our name into it.
The politicians are just the puppets. And they're not just the puppets of the corporations, because the corporations are owned by somebody. And ultimately, it seems that they're owned by members of the Rothschilds family. I don't, it just seems that way. So, lots of people can find out who the Rothschilds are, on YouTube. Where was I? Israel and Iran. Now, it seems to me that although Iran is probably a dictatorship, it's not a dictatorship that seems to be run by the Rothschilds, because the banking system has its hands in most of the world's pockets, apart from a few countries, Iran being one of them, and Syria, I think. Yes, Syria. It's got to be Syria as well. But Korea as well. But I don't know, I can't remember anymore. North Korea. So, it's the banking system, and the banking system is ultimately run by the Rothschilds. And they own the world, and dictate to the world, and control the masses.
It's the SS, Daddy. Social Security.
So,
Secret Service, Daddy.
I'd better light this up.
The message is well, I'm afraid it will have to stop being viral.
And pretend that I'm smoking a joint instead of a cigarette.
Sounds like she's laughing at us now.
I like saying anyway. Right. Religion. Yes, it's a religious war between good and evil. And it appears to me as though our government is evil, and so is the US one. It's controlled by the Rothschilds and the banking system, rooted in the United Kingdom and a separate state in its own right in the middle of London. With its own police force. And no doubt a private sort of police force protecting everybody that's elite within it, because they're not all elite. There's the workers as well, the people that haven't got a clue what's going on and who they work for and why they work for them. They don't know why they're working for them. They just go and pick up the money and do the jobs. Go home and play golf. Or, whatever the elite do. Go out to lunch. All down to Jersey. It's very pleasant, Jersey.
Hello. Oh, yes. Cousin, I'd just like to send you a link. A YouTube.
It's the agony.
Yes, I'll send it now.
Israel want to possess, to occupy, to live in the land between the Nile and the Euphrates. That is the land that they wish to occupy and to rule over. Now, if the Saudi Arabian royalty is part of the Rothschilds family, then, as I'm almost convinced it is, then, they will be. It's just that they've got a problem with Syria and Iran because Syria and Iran don't want to be part of this world elite that control all of the nations of the world through the banking system.
Yes, it's a good job Mommy doesn't know how bad it is.
I think I'll go for a bit. When it comes to saying what I've said, that a family of elite, some say 145 people, families, are controlling through, the Bilderberg Group, the Council on International Relations, or wherever it's called in America, and the British international one, the royal one.
We're royal, aren't we, Daddy?
Relations. These people are, controlling the world, doing what they want, making a mess of it, polluting the planet. Let's forget about global warming. Well, not forget about it, because we've got to somehow produce the resources to cope with the disasters that are probably going to happen anyway. Because they're happening now. Whether it's through the carbon or what, that doesn't matter. All that matters now is producing the resources that will help with the damage that's going to occur through this change in the climate that humanity is going through at this particular time?
This is all the fault of mad King George III, you know, Willie.
And as you well know, my opinion on that is hemp. Globally, mass-produced. You know, even if there's tons of it never used, or isn't put into production for these global disasters that are going to tents. Make hemp makes tents. Hemp makes prefabricated homes.
I do hope Harry is staying away from those
and the people of Haiti would be living in those prefabricated hemp homes now, instead of the tents that they're living in and the squalor that they're still living in and the cholera that they're still living
in. We will have to pacify the masses.
All over the world there's disasters. Greenpeace knows there's disasters. But do they mention hemp to anybody? Not that I know of anyway. Perhaps they do. But they're not shouting it very loudly. Hemp can produce all of the resources that humanity needs, and the more that's grown, the less value. Well, what is value? It's not necessarily monetary value. The value of something is in its use and how long you can use it for. This system, this monetary economic system that's run by the Rothschilds, is holding humanity back. And yet they want to carry on with it. They want to carry on with this concept of growth. We've got to have growth to create the jobs. No, you've got to have the resources to create the jobs. Growth doesn't create the jobs. What's growth?
You smile and say it's a conspiracy.
Investment isn't growth. Because there's only so much the Rothschilds allow, the people at the bottom to invest money-wise.
Not happy, cousin.
There's only so much the Rothschilds will allow the people at the top. The politicians, they'll only give them so much. And then, how are the politicians going to create the jobs when there's not enough money?
You're not bothered?
Well, there's money, but it's not getting down to lend out, to pay the wages, to produce the products. Hemp products, really. Every nation should be growing hemp.
Some things don't matter, and most things don't matter at all.
In 2010,
Alex Jones.
Nation should be helping its citizens, not its consumers, its citizens, to reach the highest level of mental and physical health attainable. The highest level they can attain. Every nation should be leading their citizens to the highest level of attainable mental and physical health. But does our government talk about this United Nations document, this discussion paper of May 2010? No, they don't. It was called From Coercion to Cohesion. And it was about drug policies And in 2011, the United Nations recommended all nations decriminalise or depenalise drugs and, well, drug users.
So Disraeli didn't just say one nation.
So, and the reason they did it was because drug prohibition causes more harm to the family of the drug user, the community of the drug user, the nation of the drug user, and thus everybody in the whole world is detrimentally affected by drug prohibition.
Damn stupid idiot.
And the only solution, as far as they could see, was the complete management of drug use.
Of course, the problem with politicians is in the breeding.
But I have waffled off the subject of Iran and Israel a little bit. Because some people, of course, believe that the United Nations is part of this Zionist thing, which is all wrapped up in
Turned it off,
according to the stuff that I've seen and watched and listened to and read.
Some things, they don't matter, and most things don't matter at all.
I did the research with a friend way back in the late 70s, but of course there was nothing that you could actually do or say about it to anybody then, because you would be considered, totally insane.
That could be arranged.
But that's what we're going through at the moment. We're going through what appears to be the prophecies of Revelation.
Oh my God!
And
Which one, Daddy?
All of Babylon could be really, I suppose, the political economic system. This system that we're living in is pretty much a economical whore.
Well, I hope it doesn't mention any names.
The filth that this whore gives out to the people is money. But money is debt, so the whore has you every way.
He's got you by the balls.
Because apparently we're all in debt anyway. We're in debt to a lie and a fiction, something that the elite have made up to keep us under control. This thing called money. Really, they've got no power over anybody.
Oh, yes, we have.
But it seems that because millionaires get paid millions and billionaires get paid billions, and loads of people get paid hundreds of thousands, that all those people just sit on the train of life and do as they're told by the elite ones above them, because they need their jobs and they need their lifestyles, and they're happy with their lifestyles, living and earning for this system that's corrupting the planet.
I do everything I can for the bloody planet.
Destroying the planet, polluting the planet. And where's the logic of people living in cities, really? It's nice to have cities because it brings the people together, I suppose, in groups. People have always enjoyed living in groups, but usually those groups are pretty small. But anyway, it doesn't matter because it's the children of the future that will shape the future.
Just how powerful are we, Daddy?
But hopefully it will be shaped by somebody that's, or a family, or a group of families that's not controlling.
Very, very powerful.
The people of the world through the monetary economic system. Pardon me, which needs to be, of course, a resource-based economy.
Well, if the 99% allow us to be.
I don't know what to say. I mean, we're at the verge of war over this monetary economic system. Iran doesn't want to be a part of, and Syria doesn't want to be a part of, and Korea doesn't want to be a part of. It's over a monetary economic system, but it's also over good and evil, because really these elite people that manage the history of the planet and have done for, God knows when.
Over 5,000 years.
You know what? God knows, Daddy.
Want to keep their control. They want to keep dominating us, So I don't know. I'm fed up of being controlled.
We all are, Woody.
Are you fed up of being controlled?
You, child, are of the morning star.
Bloody nicotine. You see this ridge here, there, and I sort of, there you can see it there, like a V. It goes like yuck. It goes, you see, when I raise my eyebrows. But it was caused by an iron bar that a friend called Tony was swinging round his head, and it slipped out of his hand, and the point of it hit me in between the eyes. I must have had an angel watching over me to protect, to guide it, to hit me there instead of there. Because it got straight through my brain.
Yes. Hello, cousin. Yes. 6 months, you say, until the nanoprobes take effect.
I told you what I know.
Triggered. That's very interesting.
It's not what I believe.
Yes. And then, of course, it's just a question of clearing the web of the conspiracy theorists.
I'll see you.